The vast universe sea was filled with endless chaos energy. A silver-winged black-haired man. Shwa, shwa. He left behind many afterimages as he teleported through the endless universe sea. It was Luo Feng who had left the primal universe and was heading towards the universe boat alone. It was different from the first time he went to Qingfeng world. Even though it had only been over 1,000 years, because he absorbed large amounts of origin energy in the wing space, it allowed the Wu killer wings to recover and reach a perfect state. The moment that golden light spread out, its power would make even Luo Feng speechless. As the saying goes, every move would be weaker than the last. Other warriors might have strong attacks, strong defense, strong god bodies, strong techniques, etc. However, no matter how many weaknesses he had, just relying on the perfect Wu killer wings, the blazing sand cup and the miniature universe combined, at least this alone was enough to sweep away all other pinnacle domain treasures. If he wanted to fight, he could fight, and if he wanted to leave, he could leave. Everything was in his hands. I really can't wait. This journey, once my willpower reaches the universe's strongest level, I'll be able to return to Qingfeng world and retrieve that white wing. I'll be able to return to Qingfeng world and retrieve the white wings. Luo Feng couldn't help but anticipate. As he leisurely thought about it, he continued to teleport at a high frequency. Wah! Suddenly he stopped. Natural wormhole. Luo Feng looked at the distant huge twisting space whirlpool and revealed a smile. Rushing through the universe sea was simply too boring. There were chaos energy currents everywhere, sometimes he would teleport for 1 to 2 days at a time, and at such a high frequency of teleportation, everywhere he passed, there was no sense of up or down, left or right, there was only the eternal chaos energy currents. It was indeed boring. Hence when he saw this natural wormhole, it was like a piece of green on a piece of white paper. This trip to the universe boat, I'm afraid I'll have to stay there for a very long time. Luo Feng muttered softly. Before he left, he had already looked up large amounts of information on the universe boat to determine where to train his willpower. The universe boat was simply too huge and the inner region was too dangerous. There were many places he couldn't even teleport to. His destination was a place to train his willpower. The universe boat was one of the 3 danger zones with countless dangers. Just the internal training grounds alone, according to the human race's information, there were many places with different environments. There was a place called the Black Engraved Stone Pillar. LuoFeng's human race called it the Heavenly Demon Pillar. It was one of the countless wonders within the universe boat. There were a total of 16 heavenly demonic pillars, black patterned stone pillars. Each of the 16 heaven-reaching demonic pillars was over 1,000 light-years tall and contained boundless might. No attack could damage them, nor could they be taken away. These 16 demonic pillars propped up a strange space. Within that strange space, there were huge secret rooms, each with its own independent space. Each chamber corresponded to a black token, and only those with the black token could enter the chamber. As for Jie Fanzi, he had left behind an even higher grade azure token. Similarly, the secret room corresponding to the green keepsake was even deeper. It was at the end of the inner region and could be considered as the edge of the core area. Even the strongest people in the universe have to be careful. Even the primal chaos city leader and the others didn't dare venture that far. And the heavenly demon pillars were much closer, the difficulty was much lower. At least the primal chaos city leader, Star River leader, Ice Peak leader, and Yong leader etc. all dared to attempt it. Spending hundreds or even thousands of years in the inner region would be able to reach there. The heavenly demon pillars were very mysterious, emitting endless willpower attacks. The closer one got, the more terrifying the willpower attacks were. And the closer one got to the heavenly demon pillars, the faster the time flow. A time flow ratio of 100 to 1? 1000 to 1? It was because of the time flow that Luo Feng decided to head towards the heavenly demon pillars. After all, just by going deeper and deeper into the inner region to reach the training grounds, it would probably take hundreds or even thousands of years. Going back and forth would take a very long time. Not to mention the time needed to reach the strongest willpower in the universe. The heavenly demon pillars could save time. Naturally, it was Luo Feng's first choice. Primal Planet's biggest treasure trove is within the Divergent God Palace. There will definitely be pinnacle domain level treasures in many parts. Luo Feng had to make a decision. He had acquired a Qi Mirror Stone. He had the right to enter. However, he might not be able to make it in time. After all, the moment all 36 stones were produced, the Divergent God Palace would open. Those with the stones would be able to enter. If the palace opened and he was at the heavenly demon pillar by the time he rushed back, it would be hundreds or thousands of years. The fight for the treasures in the palace would probably be over by then. The Qi Mirror Stone, I'll leave it in my god country. If the palace opens and I can rush back in a short time, I'll go personally. Otherwise I'll immediately hand it over to my teacher and the others, at least I can't waste it. Luo Feng valued the Qi Mirror Stone, but comparatively he valued the damaged white wings more. Wah! Luo Feng became a beam of light and flew into the natural wormhole, very quickly teleporting to an extremely distant place. Time passed. After spending a total of 12 days in the vast universe sea, he finally reached one of the 3 forbidden grounds, the universe boat. Ahead is the universe boat. Luo Feng continued to teleport for a few minutes. Suddenly the scenery before him changed, the chaos energy became much thinner, and in the distance an incomparably shocking scene appeared. This. Luo Feng stood in space, looking at the unbelievable scene a few hundred million light years away. Even though he had read about it before, this was the first time he saw a real universe boat, he was still incredibly shocked. An incomparably majestic universe boat. It was an incredibly huge damaged ship. It was tens of millions of light years tall and over 100 million light years long. Its entire body was a mix of deep black and enchanting purple, and the hull of the ship, even Luo Feng from a few hundred million light years away, he could still see the hundreds and thousands of large amounts of cracks and holes on it. Almost like a ship that had been pierced by large amounts of lasers, and then sliced by large amounts of huge blades. It was extremely damaged. Rumble, an incredible suction force was emitted from the universe boat, madly swallowing the chaos energy around it, causing the chaos energy around it to be extremely thin. As it devoured the chaotic air currents, the entire Cosmos ship released an endless amount of power. Circles of huge flaming rivers surrounded the Cosmos ship, and there was also a vast sea of cold air surrounding it. Amidst the cold air, one could faintly see crystal clear mirror-like ice. At the same time, huge wind vortexes were wreaking havoc in the surroundings. Pop. Huge lightning snakes that were tens of thousands of light years long wreaked havoc, roaring. Beams of resplendent colored light beams were extremely eye-catching. Huge dark green vines crawled all over the surface of the universe boat. It seemed extremely peaceful. Flames, cold energy, wind, lightning, vines, light beams. At the outer perimeter, there were large amounts of shards that revolved around the universe boat at high speeds. These shards should be the shards that broke off from the ship's body. The countless shards maintained their high speeds. This wasn't what shocked Luo Feng the most. What was most shocking was that beneath the universe boat, there was a dense mass of primal chaos chi. Within the mass of primal chaos chi, one could faintly see gold, red, blue, green and many other colors flickering. Amidst the primal chaos chi, there was a huge, damaged miniature universe. A mini-universe. Swallowing the mini-universe, it's indeed swallowing the mini-universe. Luo Feng was shocked. The upper half of the mini-universe can no longer be seen. Has it been swallowed? The universe boat itself was only over 100 million light years long. Even though the mini-universe was damaged, its largest diameter was still over 100 million light years. If one considered the height, the mini-universe was actually even larger. Just what is the origin of the universe boat? Luo Feng couldn't help but think, no other warrior can directly swallow the chaos energy, only the mini-universe can absorb it and convert it into universe energy. However, the universe boat can also swallow the chaos energy and can even swallow the mini-universe. And it can convert all the energy it absorbs into gold, wood, water, fire, earth, wind, lightning, light, time, space, etc. There are many secret rooms in the universe boat that contain independent spaces, and there are also many places where the flow of time is strange. To be able to do this, it's basically comparable to a mini-universe source. This universe boat, just how was it created? And why is it damaged? It's just that the legends of the three great danger grounds have already been passed through countless eras. Luo Feng thought. Countless warriors would often discover the items left behind by the strongest warriors of the universe, discovering some information. However, no matter which era it was, there would always be records of the three great danger grounds. The eternity of the three great danger grounds was already comparable to the generations of reincarnation in the primal universe. No one knew how the three great danger grounds were created. Luo Feng was shocked by the scene of the universe boat. After teleporting for a long time, he finally arrived at the high-speed universe boat with large amounts of broken pieces. Countless pieces, the smallest was 10 billion kilometers, the largest was a few hundred light years. So, Luo Feng teleported and landed on one of the broken pieces. This piece had a diameter of about 0.6 light years. Other than a few purple markings, the rest were all dark black. This caused the entire piece to emit a pressure that made Luo Feng's heart tremble. And this piece seemed to have some connection with the distant universe boat. Over the countless years, countless warriors had tried, but none had been able to take away a piece of the universe boat. Even when they used all their strength to attack the piece, they couldn't even make it fly around randomly. It was almost as though there was a formless rope tying it to the universe boat. I've already arrived at the universe boat, I'll first head to the human gathering area to take a look. Luo Feng thought. His silhouette flickered in space. After spending about 5 minutes, Luo Feng teleported and appeared on a distorted universe ship fragment that was flying at high speed. This was where the humans of the primal universe gathered in the universe ship. Humans were in the pinnacle world, the universe ship and flowing mountain. These three great danger zones had their own gathering spots. As they had to be extremely careful during the exploration, they would return there to rest after a long period of time had passed. The universe boat fragment was very close to the huge wind whirlpool. Even though it was only a little bit of the wind that was dissipating, it caused the universe boat fragment, which was already traveling at many times the speed of light, to be filled with endless howling winds. The winds were like countless blades, enough to shatter a neutron star, madly slashing Luo Feng's body, his hair, his eyelids, his pupils. To Luo Feng it was like a gentle breeze. Luo Feng. In the distance a silhouette appeared and walked over. Master. Luo Feng looked shocked at the Ice Peak leader. Why are you on the universe boat too? During the battle against Lord Yuan Ao, he and the Ice Peak Master had worked together to snatch the string painting. They had fought together against the enemy and he had even helped the Ice Peak Master. Furthermore, they were martial uncle and martial nephew. Therefore, the Ice Peak Master, who was widely rumored to be cold and unapproachable, was very close to him. Why can't I be here? The Ice Peak leader said. No, don't our human race in the universe see mainly use the Qingfeng world? Luo Feng said, that's why I thought you would be there. It was indeed the Qingfeng world before. The Iceberg Lord explained, However, you've just contributed an extremely detailed and large map of the universe boat. A new map would always be more rewarding the first time you explore. Naturally, many of our human race's experts would be tempted to come here. What's more, the creator of the huge axe wants to explore the universe boat after acquiring the ultimate treasure. He's currently leaving the Qingfeng world. With his speed, he should be able to reach the universe boat in about 100 years. The creator of the huge axe isn't exploring the Qingfeng world anymore? LuoFeng was shocked, simultaneously flying alongside the Ice Peak leader. He may continue in the future. The Ice Peak leader explained, during the battle with the Yuan Ao Lord, the creator of the huge axe didn't actually reach the depths of the map we acquired. He was very lucky. In the inner region, he found a special place, or maybe some other things happened. Anyway, in the end he acquired the ultimate treasure. He got it in the inner region? LuoFeng was shocked. Ultimate treasures were usually found in the core region, very rarely appearing in the inner region. Of course, it wasn't impossible for it to appear in the inner region. Even the white wings could appear in the water region. What else was impossible? It's in the inner area, so he came out quickly. The Glacial Peak Lord said, right now, our human race's main focus is on the universe Arkansas. As for the unexplored regions of the Pinnacle Realm, we'll probably delay that. LuoFeng understood. The map that he had contributed was much larger, while the map that the Lord of Arcane had obtained was only a few of the dozens of pieces of the map of strings. The description of the map was fragmented, and there was no complete route from the outer realm to the core area. Moments later, a white temple with a round dome was built in a scar on the broken piece of the spaceship, which was a huge canyon for human beings. Naturally, we're going to enter the inner region of the Cosmos ship's map. Therefore, the peak forces of the human race will come one after another. The Ice Peak Master walked towards the White Palace. Now 3 have arrived. Me, Master of Void Gold, and Master Zhenma from the other clans of the Hong Alliance. Including you, that makes 4. Zhenma Lord? LuoFeng was shocked. After all, the Hong Alliance is an alliance. With the map that you contributed, we'll also create about 20 to 30% of the map for them. The Ice Peak Lord said, however, remember, the foreign races are still foreign races. Even if they're an alliance, we can't give them 100% of our secrets. These secrets were obtained by our human race with our lives. Those who aren't of our race are definitely not loyal enough. There are many who secretly trade with the other powers. LuoFeng nodded. These foreign races relied on humans to survive. When other powers tempt them, they naturally would rather sell information in exchange for benefits. As long as they didn't leave any evidence, there was no way to investigate. Even some of the foreign races, due to certain circumstances, they left the Hong Alliance and joined another alliance. This had happened before in history. Even the human flame emperor had left the human race, much less the foreign races leaving the Hong Alliance. Luo Feng and the Ice Peak Lord communicated through their divine energy. The warriors within the shrine couldn't hear them. Luo Feng, Ice Peak. Milky Way leader, Ice Peak Lord. 2 silhouettes appeared at the entrance of the shrine, welcoming Luo Feng and the Ice Peak Lord. Master of Void Gold, Master Zhenma. Luo Feng shouted. Like the Ice Peak Lord and the Void Gold Lord, they weren't in a rush to enter. Instead, they were waiting for the other human warriors. Luo Feng naturally couldn't be too hasty. He waited patiently. As the days passed, more and more human warriors arrived. Like the Peng Worker Lord and the Desolate Mirror Lord, they were all pillars of humanity. One of the days, outside the shrine at the highest point of the canyon, Luo Feng and the Void Gold Lord stood at the edge of the cliff, allowing the winds to howl. What do you have to say to me alone? The Void Gold Lord's eyebrows drooped, his aura was as steady as a mountain. Void Gold Lord. Luo Feng said, back then our Earth had 3 brothers. Hong was the big brother and I was the third. I believe the Void Gold Lord knows this too. My big brother later became your disciple. At the start, I was still able to contact him. However, he never appeared again. It's been a long time since I've been able to contact him. I wonder what's the situation now? You mean Hong? The Void Gold Lord revealed a rare smile. No wonder he's your big brother. He's indeed a genius. At the start, his improvement wasn't that fast. However, he's special. Normally, warriors progress slower and slower. However, he's different. At the start, his training speed wasn't that fast. However, towards the end, he continued to break through. Shihui was the disciple of the Void Gold Lord. Just how fast was Shihui's training? Compared to him, Hong's training speed was indeed extremely slow. When he first became my disciple, other than willpower and illusions, his other aspects were ordinary. Out of all my disciples, he was the weakest. The Void Gold Lord said. However, towards the end, he was already able to catch up to my other disciples. Tens of thousands of years ago, he went to the Starfield prison to train. After which, he broke through to Undying and reached Emperor level. His name was Fantasy World Lord. Hence, he was directly taught by Huge Axe and entered Huge Axe's universe to nurture him. I don't know anything else. You can ask Huge Axe. In Huge Axe's universe? Luo Feng nodded. No wonder I couldn't contact him. The human race had 2 small universes, one was the primal universe and the other was Huge Axe's universe. The ancestor unleashed his heaven-defying technique, the virtual universe, which could cover the entire primal universe. However, no matter how powerful it was, it couldn't reach the universe C, hence it couldn't reach the other small universes. As for the primal universe, it was an exception. Because the primal universe was the ancestors, hence it too could be affected. Hence, the virtual universe's range was the primal universe plus the primal universe. And Hong was in Huge Axe's universe, naturally he couldn't contact him. However, I can't compare to you. The Void Gold Lord looked at Luo Feng. In such a short time to step into the ranks of universe lords. Luo Feng smiled. However, you aren't suited to come on this universe boat. The Void Gold Lord said. Before, when you were adventuring in the outer regions of Qingfeng world, people like the primal Chaos City leader wouldn't venture too deep into the inner regions. The moment you met with danger, he would rush over to save you. However, this time is different. This is a new map. Many warriors will venture deep into the inner regions to scout. If you met with danger in the outer regions, he wouldn't even be able to save you in time. No problem. Luo Feng replied. I know you have that feather that controls space and time. The Void Gold Lord shook his head. However, if you meet an enemy with a pinnacle domain treasure, breaking that move of yours, you'll really be in danger. Even though you have the ability to form a clone, the moment it's killed, the feather treasure and many other treasures will be taken. That'll be a huge loss. I won't say much. Your treasures are after all your own. If you take the risk, I have no right to interfere. Shwa. The Void Gold Lord flew downwards. Luo Feng stood at the edge of the cliff and gazed down, speechless. After waiting on the universe boat fragment for close to a month, the 16 universe lords from the Great Alliance had gathered here and finally decided to leave. A portion was to explore the outer regions. A portion was to enter the inner regions. The inner regions are dangerous. Even I, your teacher, if I'm careless, will fall. The group of warriors from the Great Alliance flew out of the shrine. The primal Chaos City leader instructed Luo Feng. Those who dare enter the inner regions are usually at least Ice Peak or Void Gold level. Unless it was someone with a heaven-defying ability to protect their own life. You must not barge in. Luo Feng was speechless. He had to go to the Demon Pillar to train his willpower. He didn't even mention anything about heading to the Green Token Room area. That was already the edge of the core area. If he dared to say he wanted to go, the primal Chaos City leader teacher would definitely be furious. Primal Chaos, Luo Feng isn't stupid. The Void Gold Lord said beside. He'll occasionally meet danger in the outer regions. In the inner regions, not mentioning the other races, just the natural dangers within the inner regions are something he won't be able to pass. If he goes, he'll just be sending himself to death. He won't be so reckless. The primal Chaos City leader frowned. He's my disciple. The Void Gold Lord's eyebrows twitched. He revealed a smile. He's a part of our human race. I'm doing this for his own good. Let's go. Worker Peng said. One by one, they swiftly teleported away. The primal Chaos City leader glanced at Luo Feng with concern before teleporting away. The Void Gold Lord smiled peculiarly at Luo Feng and said, Don't cause trouble. Your teacher and I are in the inner regions. We won't be able to help you in time. Following which he teleported away. They all left, leaving behind those who were prepared to stay in the outer regions. Some wanted to ask Luo Feng to explore with them. No need, I'll go alone. Luo Feng swiftly teleported away. Teleporting time and time again, he spent a total of 20 minutes before reaching the surface of the huge broken universe boat. According to the map left behind by Jie Fanzi and the human race's original map, there were over 100 routes into the inner regions. The human warriors naturally split up, and Luo Feng's destination was the Tong Tian Demon Pillar. Naturally, he chose a route that was closer and less dangerous. According to my calculations, this route has a total of 892 extremely terrifying danger zones. A few safer areas can be teleported forward. However, the more dangerous areas can only be flown slowly. I'll probably need about 500 to 600 years to reach the Tong Tian Demon Pillar. Advance. Luo Feng soared and flew down towards a huge broken entrance that was covered in large amounts of vines. This entrance was a huge crevice. It was about 280,000 light-years long and 92 light-years wide. Around it were huge vines and at the edges of the crevice were countless ice crystals. So, Luo Feng had already entered the dark and cold crevice. The moment he flew in, all he could see was endless darkness and coldness, with only the ice crystals reflecting the light. So cold. Luo Feng flew at high speed, simultaneously unleashing the golden country. The blurry golden light immediately spread out, enveloping an 80 light-year area. However, some of the ice crystals were unable to penetrate too deep. Within this 80 light-year area, there were still over 1,000 areas with abnormalities that the golden light couldn't penetrate. Only the more normal areas could be clearly scanned. Of course, Luo Feng kept the golden country's power, only using it to scan. After flying for a while, Sila. Noiselessly, an ice blade sliced through space, sweeping over. From the looks of it, it would reach Luo Feng. Luo Feng's thoughts moved. Immediately the golden country's power that was initially kept exploded. Rumbling, it immediately clashed with the ice blade. Receiving the strong external force, the ice blade's direction immediately changed, very quickly flying above Luo Feng. Luo Feng's flying speed quickly reached 90 times light speed. As he flew deeper, the noiseless ice blades grew in number. As the numbers increased, Luo Feng felt that it was getting more troublesome. Flame Ocean. Luo Feng's thoughts moved, activating the blazing sand cup. Rumble. A glaring golden flame immediately spread out. However, the Flame Ocean's power was much weaker than the golden country. Even with its support, it still didn't make much of a difference to Luo Feng's situation. Hua hua hua. A blur of tens of thousands of ice blades sliced through space, wreaking havoc as they clashed. they would shatter into countless smaller ice blades, sweeping towards LuoFeng's area. And the flame ocean, the golden country, even if they were to affect it together, it would at most cause the blur of ice blades to slightly change direction. However, the area was too wide. Even if it changed direction slightly, it would still affect LuoFeng. Flame blade. LuoFeng frowned with a thought. Wah. Within the endless flames, the core energy swiftly gathered, immediately forming over 100 million km long golden blade. The golden blade even had flames revolving around it. This was indeed a usage. Many domain treasures could gather their power to bind and attack an enemy. Nine Ming River was one of them. Like the pinnacle domain treasure sword River Net, the sword it formed was comparable to a pinnacle treasure weapon. The flaming sand goblet wasn't good at this, but it was a top-grade domain-type supreme treasure after all. The weapon it condensed into would also have the power of a top-grade supreme treasure. Break. Luo Feng began to control the over 100 million kilometers long golden blade engulfed in flames, unleashing its ultimate technique, golden light. His powerful willpower and consciousness used his god energy to control the huge blade, and after over 1,000 years of training in his winged space, Luo Feng's willpower was much stronger than when he first entered the universe sea. Wah. Fast as lightning, a poignant yet beautiful golden saber light, bolstered by the full power of the Golden Kingdom, was definitely comparable to an attack from a peak lord of the universe. As the huge blade light slashed at the center of the endless ice blades, some of the blades in the center suddenly trembled and then exploded, causing a large number of ice blades in the explosion area to collide with each other, shattering even more and then scattering in all directions. It caused a hole of about 10 million kilometers in length to appear in the core of the ice blade storm. Whoosh. Luo Feng passed through the hole in a flash and flew past. This is just the first region of the route. It spans about 2,100 light years. The only problem is the ice blades. The closer I get to the core, the more ice blades there are. Every one of them is comparable to a normal universe lord's full-powered attack. If I were to be surrounded and attacked by large amounts of ice blades, I would indeed be in danger of getting heavily injured. Luo Feng said softly, however, this isn't considered a dangerous region. There were 892 extremely dangerous regions along the route. According to the simple classifications of normal, dangerous and extremely dangerous, the first region he entered could only be considered normal. Firstly, its power wasn't terrifying enough. Secondly, he could use his domain to scan and teleport to avoid it. Luo Feng flew for 3 days. After experiencing it for a while, he began to advance with high efficiency. If he could teleport, he would rely on it. If he needed to use the extreme long-distance blazing blade to open the path, even if he needed the Star Pagoda, he would definitely rely on it. It was a dangerous journey. Luo Feng's golden horned beast within his world ring was always within the Star Pagoda. Even if he met with sudden danger and his earth body was instantly destroyed, at least the golden horned beast within the Star Pagoda could survive the danger and retrieve the Wu killer wings and other treasures. In the blink of an eye, 21 years had passed. In these 21 years, Luo Feng had truly witnessed how terrifying the inner region was. Compared to some of the extremely dangerous regions, the Ice Blade region at the start was simply a vacation spot. Afterwards, he had no way to escape from the many dangerous regions. The Golden Country, Flame Blade and other techniques couldn't save him at all. He was forced to use the Star Pagoda. He had used it tens of times to withstand the terrifying dangers. Exploring the inner region, a palace treasure is a must. Luo Feng thought, even a top-grade palace treasure. A top-grade palace treasure, even the strongest warriors of the universe couldn't destroy it. A palace-type treasure of this level was enough to withstand a lot of dangers. Hua! Huge jade-green ropes flew out of the endless black ocean and enveloped Luo Feng. In this black ocean nightmare region, Luo Feng was incomparably relaxed. Using the Golden Country, he could accurately find a safe spot and immediately teleport over. Time and time again, teleporting, occasionally relying on the Golden Country to suppress the ropes. Bordering the black ocean was an endless expanse of black rock land. Above the black rock was the molten magma. The floating magma would frequently fall. At the same time, large amounts of peculiar flaming boulders would fall from the magma ocean and smash downwards. The black ocean region ahead is really relaxing. However, it's rare to have such a relaxing day. It's going to be troublesome down there. Luo Feng stood at the edge of the black rock land, looking up at the floating endless magma ocean. This region was called the God Annihilating stream. Out of the 892 extremely dangerous places he had chosen, this place was the most dangerous, enough to be ranked in the top 3. The God Annihilating stream was separated into an endless magma ocean above and an endless rocky land below. To pass through, one had to travel between the two. Along the way there would be many dangers. The other dangers were fine. Luo Feng believed that with the Golden Country, Flame Blade and Star Pagoda, he would be able to pass through. However, the most terrifying thing about the God Annihilating stream was the lava demon. The lava demon was close to 10 billion kilometers tall. Its entire body was made of thick rock and endless magma. It only had 3 eyes and a ferocious fangs that revealed its mouth. It had 4 huge arms. Its intelligence was very low. It could even be said to have no intelligence at all. However, its strength was incomparably terrifying. The lava demon only used its huge body to fight with its fists and legs. However, its fist and leg techniques were incomparably profound. In a battle, even the strongest with powerful treasures in the universe would be at a disadvantage. Its body was indestructible. Till now, no one had been able to injure it. The moment it fought, Only the strongest of the universe could barely escape from it. And universe lords would definitely fall if they fought it. Jia Fanzi's information and humanity's information both had an introduction to the God Annihilating stream. Jia Fanzi's introduction was more detailed. All in all, there was a common understanding. As long as one was caught by the lava demon, those who weren't the strongest of the universe would definitely die. Even if I hide in the Star Pagoda, if I were to be caught by the lava demon, I wouldn't be able to escape even if I wanted to. I would be trapped forever. And in history, even those who hid in the pinnacle of palaces and treasures would quickly fall. Luo Feng sighed. How was the lava demon born? No one knew. Many experts even guessed that the lava fiend god was formed from the remains of a group of users of the cosmos boat. Hence it could withstand the universe's strongest attacks without suffering any damage? However, these were all guesses. One only knew that the lava demon had no intelligence at all. Yet its strength was incredibly powerful. Luckily it had domain concept. It definitely wouldn't leave the area of the God Annihilating stream. Within the God Annihilating stream, there were a total of 9 lava demons. The lava demon is close to 10 billion kilometers tall. Luo Feng thought. And its fists and legs are extremely fast. The moment I get within 10 billion kilometers of it, even the Star Pagoda won't be able to escape. Even the creator of the huge axe would have to hide. 9 lava demons. Let's hope my luck is good and I can dodge them. The God Annihilating stream spanned close to 10,000 light years. There were even some regions where the space was completely frozen without any ripples. There were very few regions where one could teleport. And there were many places where one couldn't even see through the golden light. Forward. Luo Feng's wings flapped. The endless golden light first spread out 80 light years and then flew straight into the God Annihilating stream. The scorching temperature made Luo Feng crease his eyebrows. It was enough to destroy a universe night. Occasionally, large amounts of magma would fall from the sky, crashing towards the ground. Luo Feng had to dodge carefully. The magma that fell was the most common and the danger was very low. The most dangerous were the huge rocks that hadn't even melted in the magma ocean. As these rocks fell at high speeds, the force of impact was enough to smash a universe lord to death. However, since they were dead objects, they could still be dodged. The golden flame blade that spanned over 100 million kilometers fiercely slashed down on a huge rock that was tens of millions of km long. This slash immediately caused the huge rock to fly to the side. Lava fell, celestial bodies and rocks fell. Luo Feng carefully advanced. On the 11th day since Luo Feng entered the God Exterminating stream, in a corner where Luo Feng's domain couldn't reach, a head popped out from one of the caves on the black stone ground. The head had sparse fiery red hair, and on the head's one eye was looking at the silver-winged silhouette swiftly advancing in the sky. It's him? There's someone who dares to enter the God Annihilating stream. Ah, isn't this the new universe lord of the primal universe humans? Silver Wing Leader. The head creased his eyebrows and muttered. Even though the human race announced Luo Feng's title as Milky Way Leader, however Luo Feng's fame in the Qingfeng world was due to his silver wings, hence the other races called him Silver Wing Leader. Little punk, you've only become a universe lord not long ago. With the silver wings that can control space and time, you actually dare to overestimate yourself and enter the inner region? And you still dare to enter the God Annihilating stream? Looks like this silver wing will fall into my hands. A human child like fiery red silhouette flew out of the cave.